recently, there's been a lot of rumbling going on underneath the earth. And it's not in the form of earthquakes. I live up here in the Pacific Northwest, so we do know what our earthquakes are, but it feels like it's more of kind of a quantum rumbling, if I can put it that way. And it's been deep in the earth. There has been so much activity around sacred geometry that has really started to stabilize everything. These kind of quantum light of sacred geometry that I'm seeing kind of settling in our atmosphere around us in a multidimensional way. Every time I check in, I keep getting these are stabilizers. These are stabilizers. And so I often think of the hospital that I used to work at is earthquake proof, and it's got these four big pillars. So whenever there was an earthquake, the building may kind of move back and forth, but it slides up and down these pillars. So I kind of think about sacred geometry in that way. We've also been really experiencing a lot of light codes in that recent Blue Light Awakening series that I did. The students really learned a lot about light codes. Well, these light codes are raining down and really bringing in a tremendous amount of high levels of knowledge and wisdom. And recently, as I've been getting information, it's like these light codes, it's like knowledge is this high sought after commodity. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it just means that we are being kind of downloaded with higher levels of knowledge so that we can maybe start to grasp and understand what's going on. But what does this have to do with what I call pyramid activation ready for takeoff? What does this have to do with that? Well, as I was experiencing these rumblings, there was this voice that I heard that I understand as the blue star beings. And it was almost in this kind of chorus type way of what has been hidden will be revealed. Truth will be illuminated. All illusions will be dissolved. Justice will be served. And so I've kind of been living with those messages since 2017. But when it came in almost like a choir, it was like, what has been hidden will be revealed. And that was repeated several times. What has been hidden will be revealed. So, and the truth will prevail. So let me get my notes here. So I was told, and I had this intuitive psychic sense, as if I felt like I was surrounded by pyramids. And it isn't just surrounded, it's almost like snuggled in, like there was this, like being very comforted by pyramids. And I know back in 2023, we had the three mesas on the Hopi Reservation. I was told that those are ancient pyramids that have dissolved over time, and so they just look like these flat mesas. So we do have that in the United States, but I have a feeling that here in North America and in Canada, that many, many more pyramid type structures are going to be revealed. And so I did a little deep dive because I wanted to get some more information about pyramids to see if I can get an idea of how many pyramids are in the world. Now, some of you have watched the video that I did in regards to the Bosnia pyramid that has been denied that it's a pyramid, even though there is undeniable proof that it is a pyramid. But when you have a pyramid that is so old, eventually the earth and sand, they found many pyramids that were buried under the sand. It's just like the Sphinx. When they found it, it was like just the top of the head was exposed, and they had to dig that out completely before you could see the enormous size of the Sphinx. And so in Bosnia, it just looks like a mountain. And so And so underneath, there's been caverns that have been kind of revealed, caves that have been revealed to really show that these were man-made tunnels that are underneath this pyramid in Bosnia. So I was really curious. I don't know if you're curious, but I'm curious about pyramids. So there are over 100 pyramids in Egypt alone. So I did not know this. And the most famous, of course, we know as the Pyramid of Giza. I did not know that Sudan, that there are over 200 known pyramids. Now, can you imagine? There's more known pyramids in Sudan than there is in Egypt. Pyramids also have been found in many parts of the world of Mesoamerica, the Sun Pyramid of Teotihuacan in Mexico, right outside of Mexico City, and many places in China and in Indonesia. So in the story, which I've written blogs about and I've made videos about, in that story where the Blue Star people came in and said, we need you to go to China. Nancy, we need you to go to China because there's going to be these blue surges of light and you need to get the answer or get more information about the blue light in China. So it wasn't until after I returned that I found a little article and I kind of went down that rabbit hole, and it turns out in Xi'an, China, so that's Xian, Xi'an, China, there is enormous pyramids that are aligned with Orion's belt, very similar to the pyramids in Giza aligned with Orion's belt. But did you know that in China, and I'm sure there are many other countries as well, where they have pyramids that are upside down, that actually go deep, deep, deep into the earth, and the tomb, or the casket or whatever it's called, is way down in the bottom, way, several stories deep in the earth. So there are pyramids above the ground and there are pyramids below ground. And so, yes, China does have those below ground. The use of advanced technology such as groundbreaking penetrating radar is beginning to reveal a lot of pyramids that have been hidden that are being revealed. And I also know there are some of you who are quite tech savvy when it comes to Google Earth, and you take that time to look all over the earth. So I would really encourage any of you that are good at that, start looking, because as the frequency is going up, the star people are saying what has been hidden in regards to the pyramids is going to be revealed. So it sounds like in the next 5 to 6 years, more pyramids are going to be discovered. Now we do know, we can pretty much guarantee that in Egypt, there's many pyramids that are underneath the sand, but we're talking about all over the world. Now, we do know there's a lot of talk about at the North Pole and the South Pole that there are these ice pyramids. And so anyway, it's enough to keep you up at night and be excited about. So not all pyramids are that kind of square base with the 4 triangles on the side. That's the famous one in Egypt, but pyramids can come in all kinds of shapes, like the stair-step shapes that were known amongst the Mayan in Guatemala and in South America and Peru. So they have those stair-step pyramids. And the jungles of Central and South America do already, they are finding pyramids there as well. And so there's definitely a lot of undiscovered pyramids. Now, why is it important that these pyramids are being discovered? Well, we have known based on historical knowledge and historical events of archaeologists who were working off their baseline knowledge at the time. that did not include other terrestrial beings and things like that. But it was about tombs. Everything they found was about tombs and about famous burial sites. But this information, as this rumbling is coming up, is it's almost like activating these power points. So pyramids, when you are in a pyramidal structure, whether it's made of copper wire or whether it's made, even if it's just made of wood, or stone, just a little tiny pyramid in your yard, just sitting with a pyramid on your desk, a little crystal pyramid on your desk, it has very activating properties. If you took your pendulum over it, you would see it's very activating. And when you are inside one of these pyramids, if you're inside one that's large enough for, one person or two people to sit in, it really activates your own energy field. And so what's happening now is there's more of these pyramids, whether we notice them or not. It's almost like somebody's coming along and turning on the lights, turning on the lights, turning on the lights. So I call it getting activated. And as it's getting activated, again, there's this rumble that's happening at the quantum level. Star constellations, what they are finding is every single one of these pyramidal compounds, I'll call them, or ceremonial sites, or maybe they were different cultures, different people that lived with these pyramids, that they are, for some reason in cosmology, they're very aligned with certain star systems. So I was really curious about what variety of pyramids we have that are aligned with certain constellations. Are they all the same? Are they all different? Are there going to be some that will be discovered that are aligned with different constellations than the ones that we know? And so in the research that I found that most of the pyramidal structures that have been discovered are aligned with Orion's belt. The 3 pyramids of Giza are perfectly aligned, and it has to do with being aligned with Osiris, which is the god of the afterlife, which is very significant in Egyptian culture. But there are also other pyramids like the Sun Pyramid, the Moon Pyramid, and I can't remember the Quetzalcoatl Pyramid outside of Mexico City. Teotihuacan is also aligned with Orion's belt. So I'm not sure that they're also aligned with Osiris, but the same pyramids that were in Xi'an, China are also aligned with Orion's belt. Now, I do know that there are other pyramids that aren't aligned with Orion's belt, but that is the most notable and most common. So then I was very curious about underwater pyramids. And if I'm honest, I didn't know that we had underwater pyramids. So I did a little deep dive search on that. And what I know to be a truth based on my intuitive senses and that information, the downloads, are that there are many, many, many pyramids, almost more pyramids under the water than there is above the water. So some of the more famous pyramids are the Yonaguni Monument in Japan. It is a submerged structure that is an ancient pyramid. So that's in Japan. There's also near the coast of Cuba, there is another underwater formation that resembles pyramids. So there's been minimal research done on that. You're very welcome to do that deep dive as our intuitive archaeologist. And then in the Bahamas, in the Bimini Road, while it's not a pyramid, what is underwater, the rock formation, in the way that it is shaped, some believe it is the lost city of Atlantis. Although there's a lot of places that claim to be the lost city of Atlantis. So, underwater sites continue to intrigue researchers, archaeologists, but it is what has been hidden will be revealed. But our knowledge level here on Earth is pretty minimal when it comes to what we know about our the depths of our great oceans and what may be there. So, the idea of pyramids being a power base for spaceships. Have you ever thought about that before? Have you ever considered that that might be a possibility? Now, in my visuals, when I'm visioning, when I'm getting the downloads, I'm not necessarily seeing these kind of spaceships kind of landing near or sitting on top of a pyramid. What I see is almost like a light comes from up underneath the earth and it's channeled through the point of the pyramid and the light shoots up. So it really amplifies the vibration and frequency of everything around it. And so this is why there's this question coming up around it's not just these certain cultures that had pyramids, but these pyramids are all over the world, whether we've known about them or not. But thinking about pyramids being a power base for spaceships is a theory that is an alternative archaeology theory, and it's called a fringe theory. So I don't know. I do a lot of things it's called fringe, so I would be quite open to that as a possibility. I'd like to know what you think, and if you've read books about it or you know people that talk about it, I would love for you to mention it in the comments section so that I could read more about it. So some suggest that the precise construction alignment of celestial bodies in combination of the celestial anomalies that are enhanced by the pyramids can indicate that they may have been used for advanced energy purposes. And if I just kind of think about that in a minimal type way of just really starting the discovery, and I know some of you are going to listen to me and you're going to go, oh, wow, she's still a baby when it comes to this. Because I'm sure there's a lot of much smarter people than I that talk about this all the time. But this is what I'm being told, that as the frequency of the earth comes up, what's really helping are these pyramids to amplify. To the title, Pyramidal Activation, let's get ready for takeoff. So it could be theories that have served as power for navigation beacons for extraterrestrial spacecraft. So again, it's not supported by mainstream archaeology, but what I know to be a truth, since the blue light beings and the blue surges of cosmic light began to come in, and they said what has been hidden will be revealed, what I know to be true is in archaeology, a lot of theories are being blown up. It's like the theories just do not hold water anymore. So, like, for example, if I read information about Lemuria or Atlantis, and I'm reading, it's 10,000 years old or whatever, and I just hear so loud in my ear, it's like they are hundreds of thousands of years old. If I hear about the human race and when it started, what they theorize historically, and then I'm told humans have been here for millions of years. And so part of that's being discovered right now. There's a lot of research being done around that right now. And so it's causing a little bit of a conflict amongst those who believe and those who are saying this can't be possible. So whether you believe that pyramids are temples or they're monuments to great kings or queens or pharaohs, great leaders. Whether you believe that it was engineered by extraterrestrial of advanced ancient knowledge of these civilizations, it's really somebody had to imagine these, and somebody had to imagine them in such a way to create these incredible structures that you can feel the power of them when you walk up to them. So for those of you who want to have a little fun with it, I encourage you to get a big world map. Get one of those that kind of uncurls, unfolds. Get your little pendulum or divining rods and just see if you can explore all over the world and see if you can mark spots where you have a sense that pyramids might be. Let's just see if it gets discovered. And you can go on Google Earth and kind of slowly go over and look to see if there are any more that can be revealed. But I have a feeling here in the United States and Canada, we have a lot of pyramids that haven't been discovered yet. And so whatever country you are from, I would love to hear of the pyramids that you have in those areas. Because like Sudan, I did not know that they had over 200 pyramids. So what has been hidden will be revealed. Pyramidal activation. We are ready for takeoff. So thanks again for tuning in, Intuitive Archaeologists, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.